In this class we are going to see interpolation. Let us see what do we mean by interpolation. Interpolation is nothing but the finding the value of y for the value of x, which will be lying in between x1 and x2, or the value of x may lie between any two values or anywhere in between from x0 to xn. So for such value of x, finding the value of y is called as interpolation. Now let us see what do we mean by extrapolation. Extrapolation means finding the value of y when x is not in between x0 to xn, that is x will be outside this range, this side or this side. So that's why we call it as extrapolation. When x is outside the range given here, and finding the value of y for such a x is called as extrapolation. For example, the process of estimating f of 3, f of 7, f of 12.5 and f of 14 is an interpolation, because the values of x, that is 3, 7, 12.5 and 14 are all between 0 to 15. So this 3 lies between 0 and 4. This 7 lies between 5 and 8. 12.5 lies here, and 14 is also lying here. So that's why it is called as interpolation, that is finding the value of f of x when x is inside the range, so that is called as interpolation. Now what do we mean by extrapolation, which we have already defined? See, the process of estimating f of minus 0.5. Where is minus 0.5? This minus 0.5 will be outside this range, that is left to 0. And where is this 18? 18 is right to 15, that will be outside the range. Similarly, the 25, the value of 25, the value 25 is also outside the range. So all these values x, all these values of x are outside the range. So the finding the values of f of x for all such values of x which are outside the range is called as extrapolation. We have two types of data. One is with the equal intervals. Here, gap between any two consecutive values of x will be the same. Can you see what are the gaps here? 5. So for any between any two consecutive numbers, we have the gap as 5. See here, gap is 5, gap is 5, 5, and here also 5. So such data is called as equal intervals, and the other one is unequal intervals. For example, see here, what is the gap here? It is 2. And what is the gap here? It is 1. What is the gap here? It is 3. So such intervals are called as unequal intervals. Now the question is how to find f of 3. How do we find this f of 3? That is, when x is 3, what is your f of x? What is your f of x? We are going to find. How do we find? So we have one formula for that. Let us see what is that formula.